A pleasant morning, each and everyone. I am Janice R. Digamo, and I'm a second reporter of Group 12. So let's start. Market-oriented environmental tools. Market-oriented environmental policies create incentives to allow firms flexibility in reducing pollution. So ang market-oriented environmental policies is murag dili lang siya intended kibali for incentive but use taxes, market, and property rights so that those who improve externalities must face the social cost. So grabe gid siya ka crucial no. So we must all remember gid always ang market-oriented environmental policies. Diri sa market-oriented environmental tools is na siya'y mga categories to pollution control. First is pollution charge. The second is marketable permits, and the last is better defined property rights. Kaning tulo is naa siya different importance in which we can use it for our business. Pollution charges. A pollution charge is a tax imposed on the quantity pollution that a firm emits. So, ang kani pollution charges is a fee that varies amount of a pollutant's release, in which nagadepende siya sa mga pollutants kung pila ang taxes nga makuha, like for instance sa usa ka establishment. Pollution charges can be levied on specified pollutants discharges on the basis of load and or concentration that can be reflect environmental damage imposed by pollutants. So dinhi sa figure 12.3 nga part is mostly mga number ni siya in which gi-explain diri ang reducing pollution, in which like for example sa reducing the second tin funds and cost $500 po. So nagka-reduce siya. So ang iyang value is nagka-change of course. If a pollution charge is equal to $1,000, then the firm will have an incentive to reduce pollution by the 30 funds because the 900 cost of these reductions would be less than the cost of paying the pollution charge. So, pag dili nimo sabto no, is libog siya din hinga part. Ang pollution charge daw is $1,000. Ang firm incentive is mag-reduce siya sa 30 pounds. So, 900 less than sa gibayaran sa pollution charge. This pattern for the cost of reducing pollution is common because the firm can use the cheapest method in the make initial reductions in pollutions, but additional reduction in pollution become more expensive. If mag-reducing pollution ka, of course, mostly gory is nagagamit sila og mga cheapest method, unlike if mag-additional pollution which is opposite sa reducing pollutions. So, basically, expensive siya. O diba look nga na siya $1,000 for every 10 pounds. Asa pa kaana, nagadepende na sa firm if magabayad ba siya og tax, but nagabayad man guro na also paying the cost of abatement. How much will the firm pollute and how much will the firm abate? So sa dinhi na slide is sa first 10 pounds is ang gipili is to abate. Why? It's because less than sa $1,000 siya. So sa second 10 pounds is abate lang gihapon siya. It's because less than $1,000 lang gihapon siya. The same lang gihapon siya sa third 10 pounds kay the same lang gyapon sila, less than siya sa $1,000. So sa 14 pounds is dako-dako na siya sa $1,000 because 1,500 na siya. So in all gihapon is a firm is mag-reduce siya og pollutant by 30 pounds kay tungod ang cost sa reducing pollution is less than sa pollution tax. Firm that can reduce pollution cheaply and easily will do so minimize their pollution taxes, whereas firm that will incur high costs for reducing pollution will end up paying the pollution tax instead. Ang kadtong mga firm nga mag-reduce og pollutants is magamay-gamayan man jud ang ilhang tax. Of course, Ang high og reducing pollution is mapugusgud siya sa dako nga pagbayad sa pollution tax. For example, the federal government and many state governments impose taxes on gasoline. We can view this tax as a charge on the air pollution that cars generate, as well as a source of funding for maintaining roads. Of course, in every establishment man guro is nagabayad og tax. Even small store nagabayad po na sila, so we can deny that fact nga if business gyud tax is always there, mura ra kibali siya og nang second life nimo, kumbaga maunang bantayan jud nato always. Ang business man jud is para kanang pamaruay na siya. Basta kay listo ka, your business will always productive and successful. So the second category is marketable permits. When a state government set up a marketable permits program, example, cap and trade, it starts by determining the overall quantity of pollution it will allow to meet national pollution standards. The number of permits allowing only this quantity of pollution are divided among the firms that emits the pollutants. These permits that pollute can be sold or given to firm free. For example, if there are 100 permits distributed, each permit may grant and ang company is naay right to emit one of pollutions. The number of permits is company makadawat sila every nagadepende sa size and amount of pollution it emits. So ang goal of dividing permits among emitting firms is to ensure that the total amount of pollution stay within the predetermined cap, while gitugtan ang mga company to find the most cost-effective ways to reduce their emissions. So, in summarize, ang mga marketable permits, always known as tradable permits o emission permits, ay isang sistema ng mga aims to reduce pollutions ng pagpapayag sa mga kumpanya to buy and sell permits to emit pollutants. So the last is better defined property rights. Ronald Coase won the 1991 Nobel Prize in Economics, offered an illustration of an externality, a railroad track running beside a farmer field where the railroad locomotive sometimes give off spark and set the field ablaze. So si Ronald Coase 1910 to 2013 nanalo ng Nobel Prize in Economics 1991. Isa ka halimbawa ni Ronald Coase. So, ang rail sa train nga nagdagan sa kilid sa usa ka kaumahan, diin ang lokomotiba sa train naglabay og mga spark sa nagapasunog sa uma. Giingon ni Coase kinsa ang responsibilidad sa atubang ini sa pagkalat sa kinahanglan ba nga ang mag-uuma magtukod og taas nga pader dinhi sa kilid sa umahan aron ma-close ang mga sparks. So, o kinahanglan ba ang rail sa train magbutang og kagamitan sa usok sa lokomotiba aron pagsukod sa kanang bilang sa mga sparks. Coase pointed out that this issue cannot be resolved until property rights are clearly defined. That is, the legal rights to ownership on which others are not allowed to infringe without paying compensation. Does the farmer have a property right not to have a field burn? Does the railroad have a property right to run its own train on its own tracks? If either party has a property right, then nothing will be done and the spark will continue to set the field aflame. So, giingon ni Cos nga kini siya nga isyu dili mahimong masulbad hangtod ang property rights dili maklaro. Kini mga legal nga katungod sa pagmamay-ari nga dili tugtan sa uban nga mabaliwala nga walay bayad. Nabay rights ang mag-uuma para dili masunog ang iyang kaumahan, or nabay rights ang reels sa train nga magdagan lang sa kaugalingong mga reels. Kung walay mo angkon sa nahitabo o walay kahumanan sa pagpasumangil sa usag-usa, walay mahimo og ang mga spark magapadayon sa pagsunog sa uma. If the farmer or a railroad has a well-defined legal responsibility, then the party will seek out and pay for less costly method of reducing the risk that spark will hit the field. So, gayon pa man kung ang magsasaka o ang reels ng train adunay maayong legal or responsibilidad ang mutanaw o mubayad para sa pamaagi sa pagpamubo sa sunog sa uma. The property rights determines whether the farmer or the railroad pays the bills. Ang property rights nagtakda kung kinsa sa tunga sa mag-uuma o sa reels sa train ang mubayad sa mga bayronon. The property rights approach is highly relevant in cases involving endangered species. Ang pagkakaroon ng mas mahusay na tinutukoy sa mga karapatan sa pag-aari ay napakahalaga sa mga kaso na may kinalalaman sa mga nanganganib ng uri. Applying market-oriented environmental tools. Market-oriented environmental policies are a toolkit. Specific policy tools will work better in some situations than in others. Marketable permits work best when a few dozen or a few hundred parties are highly interested in trading. As in cases of oil refineries that trade lead permits or electrical utilities that trade sulfur dioxide permits. Ang patakaran sa market-oriented environmental policies ay isang toolkit. Ang mga espesikong kasangkapan ng patakaran ay mas epektibo sa ilang sitwasyon kaysa sa iba. Halimbawa, ang marketable permits ay pinakamahusay na gumagawa kapag may ilang dosina o ang daang partido na lubos na interesado sa pangangalakal, tulad ng mga oil refineries na nagpapalitan ng mga permits o ng lead o mga electrical utilities na nagpapalitan ng mga permit ng sulfur dioxide. Cases in which millions of users emit small amounts of pollution, such as emission from car engines or unrecycled soda cans, and have no strong interest in trading pollution charge, will typically offer a better choice. Market-oriented environmental tools can also be combined. Marketable permits can be viewed as a form of improved property rights. Gayon pa man para sa mga kaso kung saan milyon-milyong gumagamit ang naglalabas ng maliit na halaga ng polusyon tulad ng mga emisyon ng makina or sasakyan o mga hindi na-recycle na lata ng soda at walang malakas na interest sa pangangalakal, karaniwan mas magandang pagpipilian ang mga pollution charges. Ang mga market-oriented environmental tools ay maaari ring pagsamahin. So, ang mga marketable permits ay maaaring tingnan bilang isang anyo ng pinabuting property rights o maaaring pagsamahin ng pamahalaan ang mga marketable permits sa isang tax o pollution para sa anumang mga emisyon na hindi sakop ng permits. So, the next is 12.4, the benefits and costs of U.S. environmental laws. The benefits of a cleaner environmental can be divided into four areas. First is, people may stay healthier and live longer. Of course, when we have a cleaner environment, we stay healthier and we live longer. Di man ta dali masakit kay tungod na man tay limpyo nga palibot. Unlike kung dili limpyo ang atong palibot, dali ra ta masakit. Unya dako pa jud ang chance nga dali ra ta mamatay kay tungod hugaw ang atong palibot. The second is industries that rely on clean air and water such as farming, fishing, and tourism may benefit. Kung natay clean air and water, dako jud ni siya og benepisyo sa atong kinabuhi sa dagat, sa pagtanom ug uban pa. Kay dili man ta polluted ang air, dili pod polluted ang water, so madaghan og mangani pa jud ta. The next benefits is property values may be higher and ug natay nindot nga palibot, mas mudaghan pa jud ang atong mga property kay daghan may ganahan, like for example beach. So kung naatay limpyo nga beach, so daghan jud taong mga nasa imuha ug tungod ana makagain ka og profit coming from them, so makabay na sab ka og laing mga profit. So the last benefits is people may simply enjoy a cleaner environment in a way that does not need to involve a market transactions. Every one of us ma-enjoy jud basta nindot ang environment, kanang feel kaayo nimo secured ka, dili ka masakit gaan imong pamati. Labi na stress na ka. So sa paglantaw pa lang daan nimo sa isa ka lugar na nindot og environment, bisan pa unsa ka nindot ang mall, mas piliin jud nimo labi na kanang fresh ang hangin, nindot og view, dili baho kay walay kalat nga basura. That's all, and thank you.